Hello everyone, back tuning into today's first video. We're doing the third and final Season 1 Roundup for today's first video. So this is a big one. This is a big video that we've got for you here on this Saturday morning. And we're going to get 14 long-range models together and see what they are all showing for winter of 2020-21 for the third and final time this season. This, of course, is ahead of the 13th and final winter update, part 1 and 2. It's going to be released tomorrow and Monday. And then, of course, the big one, the GavsWeatherVids.com winter 2020-21 forecast, which is going to be released on Wednesday. We'll be premiering that on Wednesday evening. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. And this forms a very important part for the winter forecast as well. So you're going to see what all these long-range models are showing, what they're suggesting for winter of 2021, and I shall get on that for you very shortly. Just to say that coming up later on today, going to be a busy day at GavsWeatherVids. Every day is a busy day. So coming up later on today, we're going to have the, we'll be having the weekend forecast. We'll have a 10 to 14 day video update for you as well. So there's a lot to get through today at GavsWeatherVids. It's going to be quite a long video as always with the long range stuff, so this video will be placed onto winter updates page. There'll be a written summary that goes with it as well, and I shall get that up for you this evening. You'll also be able to watch the video on demand on the GavsWeatherVids.com YouTube channel. Thank you so much everybody for tuning in, and here we go then. Let's rattle through these long range models and see what they're showing for winter 2020-21 for the final time. So beginning with CanSIPS at tropicaltidbits.com. This is a mean sea level pressure anomaly from CanSIPS for winter 2021, December through to February. Is my highlighter going to work? There we go. So here we go then. So we can see if my highlighter is going to work. I don't know if highlighter is going to work or not. There we go, it's working now. Right, so sorry about that everybody. It's been a very long day today. So CanSIPS forecasting low pressure to be to the north. High pressure is through the North Atlantic and ridging into the UK. Winds are coming in from a westerly direction as well. So it looks rather Atlantic driven, probably quite mild and relatively dry on this update from CanSIPS winter 2020-21. The temperature anomaly is around average, cool on average out to our west, mild on average to our east and northeast. About average with the temperature anomaly for the winter. Actually, probably a little bit cooler than you might expect given the Atlantic sort of flow and setup. And the precipitation anomaly for winter 2021, if anything, we're possibly on the slightly drier than average side with this winter. So, middle temperatures, rather dry, westerly Atlantic driven, not a particularly exciting winter to start us off. Let's see if things get any more interesting from the GEM. Now, I can't show you NASA this month. If we was able to show you NASA, we would have 15 long-range models to go out. Unfortunately, we can't show you NASA, but we are going to show you the GEM. So this is a temperature anomaly from the Canadian model, from the GEM, for winter 2021. Again, it's coming out a rather above average, a slightly mild average winter being forecast there from GEM. That's been a consistent signal for a couple of months now. Precipitation anomalies from the GEM, about average, a little bit drier than average to our west, near a normal further northwards. That's the GEM. This is EnCAR. These are all from the MME suite of models, by the way, which is kind of like an American version of Copernicus, where they get together several long-range models, including NASA, but as I say, we can't show you NASA this month. So EnCAR is also forecasting a slightly mild and average winter as well. Slightly above average temperature anomalies for UK and Ireland. Cool and average in the North Atlantic. And very cold winter coming up for Canada. But most of North America looks very mild. And much of Northern Europe is looking really mild as well. Slightly wetter as well with EnCAR. So this was going for an average to slightly above average rainfall. Again, though, probably quite Atlantic driven and milder and wetter than average winter. This is the probability temperature forecast from IRI, which of course, I always sort of forget this, is International Research Institute for Climate and Society, which is part of Earth Institute and also Columbia University. So Northern Europe is forecast to be slightly mild on average, so Scandinavia comes out slightly mild on average, and to northwestern Russia. Ireland and the UK are forecast to have neither, a probability that neither favours milder or colder than average, so just generally normal or no signal, possibly. Quite interesting that IRI has got to winter now, and hasn't got a forecast, it isn't favouring above average temperatures, except across the far north of Europe and the west of Russia, which is quite unusual. This model will normally be going for above average temperatures all the time, so that might imply a slightly cooler winter, actually. That's the first one. Might imply something a little bit cooler. Precipitation probabilities look like this. So, again, we see perhaps a slightly wetter than average winter being forecast for Northern Europe across Scandinavia. Dry than average winter through Spain is favoured. Probably is favouring dry than average winter through Spain, Portugal, and France. That could mean that the model is sort of indicating a westerly winter, which, of course, if that came up, would be a relatively mild winter as well. Patel Peng's analogues next, winter 2020-21. So this is a 200 millibar height anomaly from Patel Peng for the winter of 2020-21. And so this is analogues based. So what Patel Peng does, he looks at sea surface temperature anomalies in any given month. In this case, in this instance, during October, and then creates an analogues based forecast going forwards, based on those sea surface temperature anomalies. So the 200 millibar height anomaly looks like this, with above average heights over to west of the country, and sort of bringing in the wind probably from like a west to northwest direction. That could allow for some cold snaps at times. It's not a cold winter scenario, as the high pressure is not centred over Greenland. Actually has some lower pressure up towards Greenland, so it is rather westerly. But I think we could pull in some northwesterlies at times and at least get some cold snaps. Whoops, we didn't want to go there, did we? We wanted to go there. So hang on. Something's gone wrong there. So let's see what we're doing here. So that's Patel Peng's. So this has gone completely wrong, hasn't it? What have I done? What have you done, Gav? Right. Okay. This is Patel Peng's temperature anomaly. I don't know what I did there. This is Patel Peng's temperature anomaly for the winter. Sorry about that, everyone. This is Patel Peng's temperature anomaly for the winter 2020-21. Mild and average winter is being predicted. As we've gone along through the autumn, these temperature anomaly maps are getting milder for this winter, but I still maintain that 200 millibar height only could allow for some cold snaps. Right now, where is Patel Peng's precipitation anomaly? There it is. Okay, I'm starting to get back in the right order now. This is Patel Peng's precipitation anomaly for winter 2020-21. Generally quite a dryish winter for the UK, especially just to our west. It does look as though it's above average with precipitation to the north, but for the UK, for France, for Spain, for Portugal, it does actually look on the slightly drier than average side. Right, so we want to go there next. That is a CFS V2 700 millibar height anomaly for winter 2020-21. Looking westerly, above average heights, high pressure to our south, below average heights, low pressure to the north, winds coming in from a westerly direction. So, yeah, looking zonal, looking westerly, looking potentially rather wet and windy for winter 2020-21. Right, want to go there now. I got these completely in the wrong order, didn't I? This is a temperature anomaly from a CFS V2 winter 2020-21. Generally a mild and average winter being predicted, particularly so for northern Europe, so Scandinavia, northwestern Russia. Out across the west, the temperature anomaly isn't as high, but it is still a little bit above average. Generally a mild Atlantic driven westerly winter is indicated here. And so we're coming out with a wetter than average winter as well for much of northern Europe. It looks like we're back into zonal weather and low pressure in off the Atlantic. So if that comes off, obviously, after, you know, so much promise for this winter early on with the CFS as well, you know, it looks like it would end up pretty much as we've had over the past few years, which is mild, Atlantic-driven, wet and windy. Right, that's all the North American models done. Now we're going to move on to the European models. So we're going to have a look at the ECMWF mean sea pressure anomaly next, winter 2020-2021. This one shows high pressure in the middle of the North Atlantic, a bit of a North Atlantic ridge. Low pressure is up towards the north of Scotland, so between Iceland and Scandinavia. So it's Atlantic driven, probably aligning things up northwest southeast with the jet stream means that we could pull off some cold snaps. It looks very similar to Patel Peng's analog in some ways. So I don't think cold snaps are possible there with the ECMWF season model. But it's not a classic cold winter because you've got to get that high pressure further north. You've got to get heights up to Greenland to have a classic cold winter. So it's not that, but probably a more seasonable sort of winter than we have had for a few years if that sort of mean sea pressure anomaly came off. You can see that Western Europe generally is a little bit cooler compared to Eastern and Northern Europe. So again, we've got Northern Europe looking very, very mild here. Out in the west of Europe, actually, the temperature anomaly is close to average or has no signal, and it's cooler than average in the North Atlantic. And the precipitation anomaly for winter 2020-2021 looks like that. So largely above average rainfall indicated for Northern Europe, drier average in the North Atlantic, probably near normal for Ireland and the UK for precipitation again. So it's not particularly exciting, but there could be a few colder snaps at least with that one. Right, we'll move on to Meteo France next. So now we're at Copernicus.eu. This is how the mean sea pressure anomaly is looking for winter 2020-2021 from Meteo France. Generally going for an anticyclonic winter. High pressure is centred over and to the east of the country, so you would expect a lot of dry and quiet weather to be coming through with that one. Temperature anomaly has no particular signal. Again, possibly slightly on the mild and average side, but it's not a particularly warm winter that's being indicated there, very close to average. Temperature anomaly or no signal, and no particular signal for the precipitation anomaly either, although obviously with high pressure dominating across northern Europe you would expect quite a dry wind, so I'd expect that to be dry and you know, probably a mix of mild and cold weather. It would depend how close to the UK that high pressure is. If it's centrally located over the country, it could be quite cold from frost and from fog. DWD, mean sea pressure anomaly, is looking like this. So again, we have the high pressure out to our west in the middle of the North Atlantic. Winds are coming in northwest to southeast. We've got the northwest southeast alignment to the jet stream. That does seem to be a recurring thing within a lot of the model output, doesn't it? But we have the mid-Atlantic ridge. We have lower pressure to the north and also going up towards North Scandinavia. We line up the jet stream northwest to southeast. And so it's not a classic cold winter by any means, but it could allow for at least some toppler cold snaps to occur from the north. The temperature anomaly for winter 2020-21 with DWD is close to or slightly above average, slightly mild than average, but not a very mild winter or a warm winter being indicated. But precipitation anomaly, no particular signal. Northern Europe does look wetter than average. I think I have a little pause there, so I'm going to pause the video, and when we return we'll go through the remainder of the Copernicus suite of models, and we'll also have JAMSTEC, have Beijing Climate Centre, and we'll have the UK Met show you as well. But let's pause the video there, you go and get yourself a cup of tea and some nibbles, and I'll see you in around 2 seconds time. So see you very soon. Okay, we're back. and we're ready to resume the third and final Winter 2020-21 season 1 round. If you enjoyed this video so far, so a few more to show. If you enjoyed the video so far, please click like on the video. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you're subbed to the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. It'd be absolutely great if you can do that. Right, let's resume then. We're going to look at, still continuing with the Copernicus suite of models. The next model you're going to look at is the CMCC. This one looks a little bit different from mean sea level pressure. Yes, it does have a mid-Atlantic ridge, but it looks like that's pushed over more towards Bermuda. It's got some higher pressure up towards Scandinavia and also towards Greenland. Out of all the Copernicus suite of models, I think that's the one that could be hinting at something a little bit colder for this winter, possibly bringing a trough through here actually, based on the alignment of the jet stream. So I think we could do, let's just get rid of that. So I think we could do something a little bit like this, maybe a little bit like that. Could be doing something a little bit like that with the flow and with the jet. Possibly we are. Let's just quickly clip this through and see what it does later on. So later winter, it just reverts to like a westerly type flow, as most of these models do. So this is late winter, January, February, March, where we just revert back into like a westerly flow. But I think for like winter itself, and this will be probably particularly early winter, there's a little bit of colder potential there from the CMCC. Right, the temperature anomaly hints at being a little bit colder than average. Look at this, temperature anomaly is a little bit colder than average here from the CMCC, just out to our west. Anyway, definitely cooler than a lot of the models that we've seen with the temperature anomaly with this one. And the precipitation anomaly looks like that. So it's drier than average to our north, but near normal precipitation, near normal rainfall for like much of northern and western Europe as well. So that one hints at being a little bit colder, I think. It hints at some higher pressure within the northern latitude, some high latitude blocking, and just a little bit colder, I think. With that one. And then we've got the JMA. This is JMA, mean sea level pressure, and of course Japanese Meteorological Agency model. So this one again has the above average heights out in the Atlantic, but this time going a little bit further north, up towards Greenland, sending the jet stream on more of a northwest to northerly alignment perhaps. So again, that one just hints at something a little bit colder for this winter. Temperature anomalies are actually forecast to be rather colder than average with the JMA for much of the North Atlantic and into Ireland and the UK as well. So definitely a possibility of a colder than average winter. And the precipitation anomaly looks like that. So possibly hinting at being slightly on the drier side, if anything, for this winter. But those two from the Copernicus definitely hint at something a little bit colder. And interestingly, the JMA means sea level pressure anomaly actually gets colder as we go further on. It actually gets more blocked, I suppose. So this is January, February, March, with that mid-Atlantic ridge actually going to Greenland, which would suggest like a trough of low pressure through here, and potentially like an Arctic sort of northerly scenario later on in the winter setting up. And even February, March, April into the spring looks like got considerable levels of northern blocking. So that one, JMA, definitely hinting at a cold winter. Right, JAMSTEC, which is another model from Japan, looks milder than average though. So this is the temperature anomaly from JAMSTEC. The North Atlantic is forecast to be cold and average, but most of Northern Europe, including Ireland and the UK, forecast to have above average temperature. I'm not sure what's going on with this model though. I think it's overdoing the above average temperature somewhat. Although Canada looks like it's forecast, and Alaska looks like forecast to have like a very cold winter. Most of North America looks mild, and Eurasia just looks absolutely phenomenally mild across most parts of Eurasia. Remember, those are anomalies to average though. So in the middle of Siberia, it will still be very cold, even if it's like 2, 3, 4 degrees above average. In the middle of central Siberia, it's going to be very cold, even if it's 4 degrees is above average. The rainfall anomaly is above average as well. A mild and wet winter is being forecast by JAMSTEC then. Mild and wet winter 2020-2021. We're coming to the end now. Beijing Climate Center, 500 millibar height anomaly of winter 2020-2021. It's looking like this. So again, we get above average heights in the North Atlantic. They're extending up towards Greenland. Below average heights to our south and southeast. Looks like we'd probably be bringing in a wind from like an east to northeasterly or north to northeasterly direction. So yeah, I reckon that could be cold. You know, I think that could be indicating a cold winter there with the Beijing Climate Center as well. Interesting how the Asian models, like the JMA, Beijing Climate Center, are looking quite cold this winter, whilst generally the European and North American models are looking a lot milder. It's 200 millibar height anomaly from the Beijing Climate Center. Again, mid-Atlantic ridge combined with some northern blocking, lower pressure through here, and again, I see no reason why that shouldn't be pulling in the wind from like a northerly to northeasterly direction. Beijing Climate Center temperature anomaly is coming out average to slightly cold. Now, one of a few models is going for a colder than average winter, along with the JMA in particular, and possibly the CMCC as well. So yeah, a slightly colder than average winter being forecast there from Beijing Climate Center, and a rather dry winter as well. Of course, when it's cold, it tends to be dry. So yes, drier than average with the precipitation, but a colder than average winter indicating. And then lastly, we've got our very own UK Met Office GWV mean sea level pressure anomaly. Look away now, get behind the stage long if you want a cold winter, because this is as bad as it gets. In fact, it's got shades of last winter with lots of high pressure through the North Atlantic from the Azores into much of central, southern, southwestern Europe. A lot of low pressure. Lots and lots of low pressure to the northern latitudes, a strong westerly jet stream as well coming across the Atlantic into northern Europe. So looking mild, wet, windy and zonal with that mean sea level pressure anomaly from UK Met to winter 2020-2021. The temperature anomaly is being forecast to be above average, a mild average winter being forecast not just for UK but through most parts of northern Europe and also most parts of Northern America as well. Very mild on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. And obviously, with zonal signal for this winter, we also have above average rainfall indicated there with the UK Met Office model, quite significantly so. So a mild, wet, windy zonal winter to finish us off. If you enjoyed this third winter 2020-21 season 1 roundup, then please can you give us a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe to the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids as well. If everybody who subscribes brings a friend, we're going to get to our target of 9k and eventually 10k subs so very much quicker. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Drop a comment and let us know what you thought about this season or roundup for winter 2020-2021. That's amazing if everybody can do that. And that's it. So that's the models have their say on this winter. So that's it. You know, the model output has had its say, and this update is going to form part of the winter forecast. You know, we always take into account what the models are showing, albeit like our analog are kind of more important than our winter updates. But nevertheless, the season models do form a part of the winter forecast, and so that's it. Like the long range models have told us, you know, what they think about this winter, and so now it's just a case of getting together the 13th and final winter update in 2 parts. Part 1 will be released tomorrow at 10 a.m. Part 2 will be released probably around 5 or 6 o'clock on Monday, and then that's it. We can do no more. All we can do then is release the GavsWeatherVids.com winter 2020-21 forecast on Wednesday the 2nd of December. So this coming Wednesday is when it all comes together. Hopefully, anyway, when it all comes together, and hopefully we release. Well, we definitely will release a forecast, but hopefully it'll come together and be a successful forecast. I think overall, obviously, these models are favouring like a milder winter generally, but very few of them seem to be excessive with the mild weather. So I would think, based on the model output, like we can expect a slightly above average temperatures for this winter. But with a chance of cold snaps, even the milder end of the models probably could allow for some cold snaps. Maybe, probably not the CFS, probably not UK Met. They are like last winter, really. But I think they're in the minority. They're quite at the extreme end of the range. I think generally the milder ones, like ECMWF, for example, they would allow for some colder snaps at the very least. And then, of course, we have a small minority, particularly those Asian models, JMA, and Beijing Climate Centre, that seem to be indicating something potentially a lot colder and a lot more blocked for this winter, but they are in a very significant minority. So it's interesting, and as I say, this update is going to form part of winter forecast that you're going to see on Wednesday evening as a premiere on the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. Okay, so 25 minutes. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you sub to the channel. This video is going to be placed on Winter Updates page later on this afternoon or this evening. There'll be a written summary that goes with it as well, so I shall get that up for you this evening before I crack on with the 13th and final Season 1 roundup. But at 25 minutes, that's all for now. I'll see you later on for the weekend forecast and our 10 to 14 day update as well. But for this one, that is all for now. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. Bye for now.